Come into the mountains, dear friend. Leave society and take no one with you but your true self. Get close to nature. Your everyday games will be insignificant. Notice the clouds spontaneously forming patterns, and try to do that with your life.
The year is 1970. Susan Polis Schutz and Stephen Schutz create a silk-screened poster with this heartfelt message as a gift for a friend. Little do they know it will change their lives and give birth to a company that will provide inspiration to millions for decades to come. Creativity, love, and a desire to start a new life together away from New York City led Susan and Stephen to Boulder, Colorado. The surrounding mountains nurtured their creative spirits, and the passionately idealistic community fueled their own dreams to help make the world a better place.
Steve and my dream was to work together by combining our love for each other with our love for writing and art. We wanted our creations to help people communicate their feelings and promote understanding, respect, love, and peace throughout the world.
Come Into the Mountains was an expression of Susan and Steve's own feelings. As things turned out, it expressed the feelings of many people. Friends encouraged the couple to sell their posters. And even though most shops were papered with psychedelic posters at that time, people reacted strongly and positively to Susan and Stephen's nature-inspired artwork and heartfelt poetry. They set up silkscreen production in the basement of their apartment and began traveling the country, selling the posters out of the back of their pickup truck camper. The demand was tremendous, and Blue Mountain was born.
We couldn't believe what happened. People really liked what we created.
From the very beginning, Blue Mountain Arts has been a company that's about heart, and about following its own path, publishing greeting cards, posters, books, and specialty products that to this day are unlike any other. At its offices and warehouses in Boulder, Colorado, there's a sense of almost family from the minute you walk in the door. It's pretty clear that the people who work here are still committed to the ideals that inspired Susan and Stephen back in the 60s. With that commitment, the company's mission has always stayed true, to help people express feelings they can't always put into words themselves. In fact, it was requests from fans that inspired Susan and Stephen to publish their first book in 1972. Their collection of poetry and illustrations, Come Into the Mountains, Dear Friend, was a hit. The Boulder Daily Camera published a full-color article about the Schutz's creations.
When I first saw the article in the Boulder paper, I was absolutely astonished. And for the first time ever, I thought that maybe my childhood dream of becoming a well-known author might become a reality.
As they created more products, the Schutzes followed their own instincts. Blue Mountain cards expressed real emotions in free-flowing everyday language, which bucked the industry trends of occasion-themed cards like birthday and get well. Stephen's illustrations gave life to Susan's verse, and room was left for people to write their own messages. In fact, the Schutzes are credited with inventing the all-occasion note card, which could be sent for any reason. It wasn't just the style of the poetry and the look of Blue Mountain Arts products that were revolutionary. Innovative printing techniques with very dense inks and high-quality, often handmade textured papers made the cards and books stand out. As Blue Mountain continued to expand, the founders realized they couldn't do everything themselves, so they called Susan's mother, June Polis, who processed orders from her home in Peekskill, New York. June became the company's sales manager in 1974, a position she held for over 25 years. With products in thousands of stores across the country, the inspiring and developing story of the company's founders and their success was continually extolled by the media. In the next few years, Susan and Stephen built an incredible team to help them. Many of the people who came on board are still with Blue Mountain. Together, the team created innovative new product lines to meet the demand. By the early 80s, Blue Mountain Arts was on a meteoric rise. The large competitors in the greeting card market were tracking its success closely. As it turned out, a little too closely. In 1986, Blue Mountain Arts, a relatively small company, won a laborious legal battle against the greeting card giant Hallmark. The precedent-setting trial, including the appeals process, took many years and was covered extensively by the media, including an interview with Susan and Stephen on 2020. To this day, the case is often cited in law school textbooks, and it continues to protect the rights of artists and writers. Susan and Stephen's love for each other and their growing family continued to inspire their work. Susan's poems to her daughter Jordana became the hardcover bestseller, To My Daughter with Love on the Important Things in Life, selling over 1.5 million copies. Her companion book, To My Son with Love, was released 2 years later. Both sparked interest in expanding the book division, and by the late 90s, book sales increased tenfold. In the mid-1990s, the Schutz's then 13-year-old son Jorian taught Steve how to use HTML, the computer language used to create web pages. When the couple forgot to send a card for their oldest son Jared's birthday, Steve designed and sent a whimsical electronic happy birthday message via the web. That was the beginning of BlueMountain.com. Millions of people were soon filling their loved ones' inboxes with free BlueMountain.com e-cards, making it one of the most visited websites in the world. The entire Schutz family and many friends jumped in to help. Jared spearheaded technology advancements and managed the business end of BlueMountain.com. Jordana orchestrated the addition of voice customization and gift attachments. Jorian took photographs and wrote captions for some of the most popular cards. The next few years were an incredible whirlwind, and in 1999 the Schutzes sold the online BlueMountain.com so they could refocus on their family and their original card and book publishing business, Blue Mountain Arts. Their notoriety and success have given the Schutzes the gift of being able to pursue other passions and respond when they feel the world is in need. In the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, they wrote and illustrated One World, One Heart. More than 7 million copies of this powerful book were distributed free around the world. Susan has also ventured into documentary film. Her film about people who have traveled unique career paths in pursuit of their dreams is in production through her company Iron Zeal Films. Stephen's lifelong love of reading inspired him to create the free website starfall.com, which is becoming recognized as the preeminent program to help children become better readers. Today, Blue Mountain Arts is a thriving international corporation with strong product recognition and a loyal following. Susan and Stephen's creative energy, instincts, and business ethics fueled the company's evolution into a brand that is loved by millions of consumers around the world. The many technological changes in the 21st century have spawned a revolution in how people communicate. But one thing remains unchanged: the desire to bond with other people in meaningful ways. And for that, people of all ages still turn to Blue Mountain Arts to help them express friendship, encourage a loved one, or show appreciation.
It's been an amazing experience when I think back to how we started to now, to see how our dreams have become a reality.
After all these years, the original vision of Susan Polis Schutz and Stephen Schutz is stronger than ever.